So I finished watching. So I actually watched Roadhouse today, directed by Doug Liman, and it has Jake Gyllenhaal and a couple other people like Conor McGregor, and I don't remember the other actors' names, but I watched it, and let me tell you, this movie is fucking crazy. Like, this movie opens up with Post Malone fighting. Post Malone, I thought Post Malone was gonna be in it for the whole movie, but no, he's only in it for the very beginning. I guess that's all they could afford. But we're introduced to this character named Frankie, and she's like looking for a fighter, I guess, because she essentially wants to find someone that can be like a bodyguard for her roadhouse bar / restaurant. And we see Conor McGregor fighting, and we see Jake Gyllenhaal sit down in the chair, and fucking Post Malone sees him, and he's like, oh shit, I'm not fucking fighting him, fuck this, fuck your money, he fucking runs away. So Jake Gyllenhaal in this movie plays an ex UFC fighter, and don't ask me why he's an ex fighter. We never really get to know why. We just kind of we get these flashbacks in the film, and they don't really go anywhere. Like, we don't really get that resolved. Like, what happened? We kind of get glimpses of like his last fight going south and not doing very well. But anyways, Frankie approaches Jake, and she's like, "Hey, I need you to protect my bar. It's called the Roadhouse. You'll get paid $20,000 a month, blah blah blah." And then essentially Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't want to at first, and until he tries to do like a Lightning McQueen / Vin Diesel, where he tries to like run over a train. Not run over a train. He's trying to like cross the railroad without the train hitting him, but I think his car gets stuck. But he makes it out in the nick of time. But like the back of his car gets fucked. The back of his car gets fucked, and essentially he's like, okay, well, fine. Guess I gotta take the fucking job now. I gotta get a car. And I don't know where the beginning of the movie takes place, but I do know that later down the movie, he goes to Florida because that's where the Roadhouse is at. And I've never seen the original one. I've never seen the original movie, so I don't even know where that one takes place. But I think Florida, in Keys, Florida, I think that was a good place to set the movie, because like it gives me some representation, you know. But anyways, he meets everyone in town. He meets this girl named Charlie at some bookstore, and her dad, and they go to the he goes to the bar. He's like, I accept the job, and while he's there, he teaches everyone else how to fight, and this gang comes to the bar and they start messing everything up, and out of all the villains are so goofy in the movie. All the villains are fucking goofy because like, for example, like there's this guy named Mo. There's this like bad guy named Mo, and he's not really like the main bad guy. He's just like in the background. He plays like a goon, and he takes everything so seriously. He reminds me of Drax from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Like, you'll say something and he'll take it literally, like no, or like yes, blah 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 blah. And he was really funny. This whole movie is actually pretty, like, I mean, I don't know if it's intentionally funny, but a lot of parts are unintentionally funny, because like, it's Roadhouse. You know, the premise is not serious. It doesn't take itself super seriously, and I like that. I like that movie doesn't. I like that movie knows it's silly, and is self-aware of what it is. This movie does not take anything seriously. Don't go in this movie expecting like a serious drama of an ex-UFC fighter. No, nothing of that. This movie is fucking goofy because for the whole movie, Jake Gyllenhaal has this like superpower where like people just see him and they're like, no, we don't want to fuck with you, man. Like, you're fine. Like, do your own thing. And eventually he beats up these bad guys, and one of the bad guys tries to fucking run him over, and then Jake Gyllenhaal ends up in a lake, and he goes back home, and the bad guy's just fucking there out of nowhere, like with a shotgun. Because I want to say, like, I want to ask myself, how did he know where he lives? But like at the same time, apparently everyone in this town fucking gossips, because the next day when he gets there, like the next day, like literally everyone knows his fucking name, and Dalton, which is what the character that Jake Gyllenhaal plays, Dalton is like walks up to Frankie and he's like, how does everyone know my name? And she's like, well, people gossip around here a lot, so get used to it. So yeah, and then fucking Dalton fights with the bad guy that showed up at his boathouse, and that fucking guy gets eaten by a fucking alligator out of nowhere. And then we fucking cut to Conor McGregor, and fucking Conor McGregor, he plays this guy Knox. And this guy's just fucking goofy, like off the hinges, like batshit crazy. Like I don't think many of you watched fucking Fast X, the Fast and Furious movie that came out last year. But the bad guy in that movie, which is played by Jason Momoa, he acts the same way as Knox does in this movie. Just like fucking ball and steep crazy, like whoa, like really energetic shit, man. And we also have a love interest for Dalton, Jake Gyllenhaal, but she doesn't really do much. Like you could probably cut her from the movie and not a lot would change aside from Jake and her having like a makeout session. And there's this bad guy who wants the roadhouse to be torn down. There is never really an explanation to why. The only explanation we ever get is well, it's business, you know. I'm just tearing it down for business, you know. Don't get in the way of business. And like there's no deeper level to the bad guy or anything, or any of the characters really. There's an attempt, like I said, to like give some character to Dalton of his like ex-UFC fighter past, like his ex-UFC past. But like I said, those flashbacks don't ever really amount to anything or anything really. They're just kind of dreams that he gets while he sleeps. And I mean, and this whole movie is like really fucking like silly. It's fun. Don't take anything too seriously. There's this one point where fucking Conor McGregor is fighting Dalton like at the bar, and he's like swinging off chandeliers or like lights. It's so fucking like silly. But anyways, like if you just want to have a good time, like be drunk and just like watch a movie, this is the movie for you, man. Like if you just want to watch a movie and like be like drunk or like high off your ass or something, this movie is the movie for you. You will literally, like if you shut your own brain off, this will be a fucking masterpiece of a movie. This movie is so silly. It reminds me of like just sillier movies in general. Like Too Fast, Too Furious, for example. That movie's fucking silly. And that's the first one that came to my head. But anyways, you're gonna see, nothing's gonna be serious. I don't really know how to end this movie review on, but I would say check it out. I would say check it out. Like actually watch it. Just turn off your brain. You'll have a good time. I know this movie has like controversy with its premiere because it is an Amazon original. It is an Amazon original, and Jake Gyllenhaal supposedly had like fights with the production team or like the executives, It might have been I think it was the executives that he was trying to push this movie to have a theatrical release, a wide theatrical release, and they didn't accept it, and because it was on the contracts that this was gonna go straight to streaming. Now I'm not gonna speak for Jake. I love my boy Jake. He's in a lot of good movies. I really like almost any movie he's in. I think he's a really talented actor. But I don't know if somewhere in there it said that that this movie was gonna go to streaming or not. But he should have read those contracts and said, nah, fuck y'all. Like, if this movie's not going to streaming, I'm not gonna be in it. No, I'm sorry. If this movie's not going to theaters, I'm not gonna be in it. But I mean, I'm glad he's in it. He does a really good job. And this whole movie did a really good job at, like, just being entertaining. There's a lot of aspects and, like, a lot of other story beats that I didn't mention because I simply don't remember. Like my brain was shut off. I was just enjoying what the fuck was going on, the silly action and shit. But anyways, aside from the controversies and the production schedule and the COVID and the quarantine and all that, the delays, I think this movie is fucking solid. I give this movie 3.5 stars. Anyways, that's it for this video. This was just one quick video that I wanted to make really quick because I was looking forward to this movie. And it was just, I don't know. I just thought it was really fun. I'm glad I watched it. And you should too. This is good.
Here's your burger, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I need another $1.25.
Is that right? Keep the change. Roadhouse.